Hi there. Today we are blessed actually to stand in front of this beautiful, beautiful aircraft, and we have the Vice President of Tarragon, USA, Mr. Chuck Barth, and he's going to tell us a little bit about this baby.
Yeah, hey, good morning. I'm Chuck, and welcome to Sun and Fun. Hope everybody's enjoying the trip, and hope you were able to make it. This Tarragon behind me is a 2023 Tarragon aircraft made in Latvia, and they are proprietarily made at the factory. So we build everything from the axles up, Behringer wheels and brakes. We make our own landing gear system. We make our own hydraulic controllers. Everything minus the engine. Our power plants are Rotex, generally Rotex powered engines. And the gamut of all the Rotex engines, from the 912 all the way up to the 916. This one behind me is a 915 IS.
Beautiful.
And a very, very powerful engine for our application. And a brief history of the Tarragon. It's derived from the Millennium Master, which came out of CFM Aero back in the early, I think, mid to late 2000s.
Okay.
And then a couple airplanes had derived from the Millennium Master, one of them being the black shape, and another one being the, I think the Shark's kind of similar, but not really.
Okay.
So we are larger people in Eastern Europe, not necessarily big, but taller men, and they didn't fit in those smaller airplanes. So Tarragon widened the airplane, lengthened the airplane.
So basically more for my size.
Yeah, so more of an adult size airplane.
That's a nice way to
so
put it.
They widened it and they lengthened it, and they gave it a taller rudder, more controllability and crosswinds, and then we put a real strong center section in it, so our wings are not bolted onto the airplane. It's a one-piece wing.
Okay.
They're static tested right now to 8.8 Gs.
Wow.
And then 4 negative. And the wings, like I say, they're not bolted on, they're pinned on. So there's 4 large pins that pin the center section into the fuselage. So it's a very, very, very solid, very sound airplane. 440 part count from behind the firewall aft. There's 440 parts.
Okay.
We're made completely of pre-preg carbon fiber. So it's aerospace pre-preg carbon fiber. There is no wet layup carbon fiber anywhere on this airplane. So it's all machined CNC cut. It's formed in autoclaves. Every component is formed in an autoclave. So if there's the torque tubes, for instance, for the ailerons and for the elevator, for the nose wheel steering, it's all torque tube control.
So
and
it's
that
very
is
meticulous.
all, very, very meticulous, and all pre-preg formed carbon fiber.
What is the average build time?
It's about, from start to finish, delivery to the US, it's about 8 months.
Wow.
So average build time is about 6 months on the airplane. Fit and finish is like no other aircraft on the market. We don't do decals, we don't do stickers, we don't do any kind of vinyl wraps. It's all paint, what you're seeing. You can't feel the transitions in the paint. Yeah, it's a gorgeous paint job.
Very, very sleek.
Yeah. And for the US market, we proprietarily use Garmin products. Our standard model is going to have a G3X, a G5 in the front, a G5 in the back, with a G3X in the back. Full autopilot, Garmin GNX 375 for navigation. IFR navigation, Garmin pitot tube. It's all Garmin products throughout the whole airplane. All of them come with the autopilot. We use GRS parachute system, recovery ballistic system on all of them, standard. Lots of little nuances with the airplane as far as attention to detail things like safety. Orientation is really one of our big things that we really promote. We don't use non-aviation hardware. It's all aviation hardware. Perfect. We source most of our stuff, even in Europe, most of our stuff is sourced through aircraft spruce.
So just a quick question, because you look sleek and fast, is there a particular market segment that you're trying to focus for, or
a market segment?
Yeah, a segment. Or is this something
right now,
a new pilot could do?
Yeah. So it's an easy airplane to fly. And as far as markets go, we're kind of exploring all markets, really.
Okay.
We've got military contracts. We've actually sold some aircraft to the military. They're looking at it as more of like an advanced type trainer.
Wow.
And I shouldn't say advanced type trainer, but it's not a basic training platform for a brand new pilot. It's not
but it's sturdy enough.
It's not fragile.
Yeah.
It's very sturdy, but it is composite. It is, you know, a composite aircraft. So there is some nuances that go along with composites, like how to handle them, how to treat them. You can't just bang around on them. It's very sturdy, very rugged landing gear. It was designed, the landing gear system was designed to handle rough surface and grass.
Oh, grass fields?
Yeah, because in Latvia, that's what they have, is a lot of grass strips. And on a grass strip, with the 915, 916, you can get off of a grass strip in this in around 600 feet or less.
Yeah.
Like it'll get in and out pretty quick. Yeah.
And you've still got you've got all of that capability, but you've still got the steep lines. I mean, if we just sit here and look at that, it looks like you're sitting inside a fighter jet.
It is. It feels like flying a fighter jet. It's very similar to the most accurate platform I've flown that compares to the way this handles is like an L-39.
Oh, wow.
It flies like a jet.
Okay.
Only difference is noticeable on takeoff with as much power as those Rotex engines have, and as light as this airplane is, there's a lot of right rudder that has to go into the takeoff. But once you're in the air, very little rudder inputs. It's very similar to a jet. You can do a coordinated turn and never touch the rudder. So pretty amazing. We have electric trim. We have anhedral in the tail. A lot of people don't realize that if they initially look at it, don't catch the anhedral instead of dihedral. That's for high speed. Do you want to explain a little bit about that? Yeah, that's for high speed maneuverability, but also it's more for low speed, so the tail doesn't stall as fast. So when the airplane's nose high and the tail is low and the airplane's slow, that tail has full length elevators.
Oh wow!
And those elevators are down in clean air. If they have anhedral, and that's one of our big differences between a lot of these other airplanes. So our tail doesn't stall first,
and that's very stable platform.
Yeah, very stable. Stall speeds on these average around 44 knots.
Wow! For something so sleek, it's just wow. Yeah, it's pretty
now,
crazy.
To kind of tout Rotex a little bit, which I'm super.
Well, I'm glad you did that, considering the channel.
Well, but I'm super impressed with this engine. This engine's absolutely amazing. The performance I got out of this compared to a lot of other engines, this is our first 915 powered one in the U.S. We were averaging 6.4 to 6.5 gallon per hour.
Wow!
And I flew this one from.
That's with the first injector, the 912. Or
no, that's with this 915.
Oh, with the
Yeah, so at the power settings I was using, which was I think for a second, 5,200 RPM on the propeller. Yeah. And 33 inches manifold pressure. I think it was 6.3 or 6.4 gallon per hour.
Wow.
At least that was indicated. Anyway, 840 nautical mile trip from Illinois down to here. This has 42 gallons usable. I was able to make that trip in 4.9 hours, averaging just shy of 200 mile an hour, 197 mile an hour. So 840 nautical mile, 4.9 hours, and we burned 33 gallons of gas.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing. So that's
pretty
from
amazing.
Basically Chicago to Lakeland, Florida.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
and
trip.
The seats, actually, I know the guys can't see it from back here, but those seats look pretty comfy too. So.
Yeah, the seats are real comfortable. And the front seat is actually a bulkhead, so it's non-movable.
Okay.
And it's on the same rake as a F-16 fighter. So when you're sitting in it, you're sitting in about a 30-degree reclining position.
And with that canopy, your view must be amazing.
You can't see anything but sky.
Oh, awesome.
Pretty amazing. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The rudder pedals are made in a way that you can put your feet past them when you're flying, so you can stretch your legs out. You can sit in about 3 different positions. So I get hot spots after about 3 hours in an airplane.
Yeah, 3 hours. For me, there would be other necessities along that road for the 3 hours.
Correct. And I'm in that same boat. But what's nice is when I land somewhere after 3 or 4 hours, I can get out and not make dad noises when I get out, and I don't have to worry about stretching my legs.
Oh, I'm making dad noises coming out of a minivan, so don't worry about it.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a very comfortable airplane to fly over distance. So it's the perfect airplane for a guy that owns small businesses that has, like, say, restaurants in several different cities or in a region, where you can travel to and from those and not have to worry about getting gas.
Yeah.
You can go all day and not get fuel. And it's got a 6-hour endurance, so you can go.
So longer than the pilot.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But we're off of pavement in this. Two guys in it, full of fuel. We were off the ground in about 600, 650
That's
feet.
amazing.
And if we left the power in it, we'd be climbing at 2,000 feet a minute, full of gas, and with two guys in it.
Oh,
So
that's
it's over 1,700 pounds gross weight. Empty weight on this, I can't exactly remember, but I think it's just a little over 900 pounds.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So now, where do people find you? How
Yeah.
did they get hold of you?
So-
what is your support structure
Yeah.
like? Everything.
Yeah, so we're at Pekin Airport in Pekin, Illinois, and that's Charlie 15 on the charts. Right in the middle of Illinois, we're right next to Peoria, just like say 2 hours south of Chicago, 2 hours north of St. Louis. And we are the reps for North and South America through Tarragon.
Oh, wow.
The parts, like I say, that we have made, that the factory makes, I can have any other parts to our location in less than a week.
That's amazing.
So it's a pretty quick turnaround for parts. And again, we make our own bushings. Like I say, our landing gear is 100%
robust.
made by us,
Yeah.
you know. So if you damage a part of a landing gear, you know, we can have that part in less than a week.
Oh.
And everything's easy to get to. Like, it's easy to work on. There's very few inspection covers. There's very few, like the flaps. You can change the flaps in 10 minutes.
That's
Really
crazy.
slick.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a lot of work and effort has gone into it, not just for the owner's side, but also for the maintainer's side. Yeah, very, very good aircraft.
Websites, phone numbers.
So our website is tarragonaircraft.com.
Okay.
And we share a website with the factory. We have a P-51 flying over,
So it'll be a little noisy for a second, but that's what it's all about, right?
and there's Dash 2.
And you know what? We're not going to cut this because that sounds amazing.
This is why you come to Sun
Yeah.
to listen to Merlins, Rolls Royces. Heck yeah, that's what it's all about. But no, so you can find us on the internet with tarragonaircraft.com. We have a Facebook page that we use quite a bit, and that's Tarragon Aircraft USA on Facebook. And then our email is sales@tarragonaircraftusa.com.
Okay.
And if you have a quick second, I'll open the canopy.
Yeah,
Look
sure.
at the interior.
Yeah, let's have a
It's
quick
custom leather interior. It's Ferrari grade,
Oh.
you know, Italian sports car interior. And then our baggage, we have a 60-pound baggage compartment located behind the back seat, holds 2 carry-on bags.
Okay.
But no long guns or rifles for hunting, and no golf clubs.
No
for
golf clubs. Because you're supposed to be working, right? Not playing.
Right. So here, we'll go over here.
Yeah, let's
and
have a
open
quick look.
Yeah, we'll open
Lead the way.
canopy real quick. When you get in a Tarragon, I'll show you real quick.
Okay.
When you get in a Tarragon.
Feel free to take the controls and speak about it as you go.
Yeah, sure. We mount these from the front. There's a clear bra on here that's almost absolutely invisible. And these
You can't see it at all.
Yeah, these are replaceable. Minimal effort to replace this. 3 or 4 years, they get a little nicked up instead of the paint. And we don't have a gaudy, traction pad on there.
Yeah.
But anyway, the way I get in these is put a knee on it. And then step up on it. And if you want to bring the camera.
Sure, actually, you can take
here.
control of the camera, and
Sure.
I think you're a little bit more flexible than I am.
This is the Tarragon's interior. Like I say, we've got the Garmin G3X and then the GNX 375. There's no automotive fuses or anything. It's all aircraft fuses, click-on fuses. And the prop controller is hydraulic at this stage of the game. Throttle's on the left where it's supposed to be, sticks in the middle where it's supposed to be, trim up and down for the electric trim. Parking brakes located here, flaps are here. This is our landing gear controller. And then fuel and lane A, lane B, and then position light, strobe, and landing light. We have an accumulator, hydraulic accumulator for the landing gear, so an emergency gear extension is just literally the flip of a switch and you get a landing gear. And our brakes, which we're almost proprietary to, are Behringer wheels and brakes, but our brakes are on the throttle. So you squeeze that handle back and you get brakes.
Okay.
And they're not independent brakes. The back seat, like I say, this one has a G5.
Oh, so there's full controls?
Here. Yep, full dual control.
Perfect.
And then throttle in the back, rudder, pedals down below. And then the rear stick has a push to talk, and then the rear seat passenger has the GRS parachute as well. And then here we'll open the baggage compartment. It might be a little messy because we were traveling.
Because this was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, and it was kind of a surprise.
This was not prepared.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
There's our baggage compartment. You can kind of see how much room you have in there. So we were able to get 2 guys' luggage, tie downs, canopy cover,
and it's nicely stored out of the way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the carbon fiber, this is bare carbon fiber. This isn't a wrap. We don't use any wraps or decorations on our carbon fiber. That's all pre-preg carbon fiber.
And so even, okay, these are all things, but even the simplicity, like your hinges, are so beautiful.
Yeah, and we make all that.
Yeah,
all
the attention to detail is amazing.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah, our batteries are located in between the rudder pedals. They're easy to get in and out, and yeah, pretty simple airplane.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, thank you so much for the guided tour and the attention to detail.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. Thanks for stopping by. And
yeah, no.
paying a visit.
And I hope you have an amazing show here at Sun and Fun.
Yeah.
2024, and you certainly do have a eye catcher.
Yeah,
product.
stunning.
So,
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right.